So let's start off with the men, shall we?
Let's.
Last year, 14-12 overall in the season, 11-9 in the conference, made it to the first round of the playoffs. Unfortunately, was a home game. Was the first time since 2020 it was a home game. So just to remind you all, 2020 was when COVID happened. So
It was a while ago.
home playoff game meant the two teams. There was no crowd. It's not like they had people cheering them on. So this was like their first time in a really long time that they were put in an atmosphere where they had that rockin' Rudy that we're used to. And unfortunately, though, it was a tight game. They lost 65-58 to Grove City in the first round of the playoffs. And it brought back some key players, though, and it kind of lit a fire under them to do better this year. And so who are some of those key turners for this men's team?
Well, I mean, there's one guy that you have to mention, Anton Baker.
Obviously.
Without a doubt. You have to mention him. He's just been a stud that entire year, and then especially going into this year, wow, just exciting. Yeah. You've been able to talk with him, especially about what we're looking forward to from him, which we'll get into a little bit more. But also, Jalen Davis returning. Has not been back to number 5, though. He switched up his number. He is now, I believe, number 24.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Which is quite a switch up for us. But hey,
I don't know how I feel about it, but it's fine.
And
He's still the same Jalen Davis, so it's fine.
And then Corey Mitchum, who I think has grown into this leadership role. I mean, he definitely was a leader kind of in that late season of last year, and I think he's been growing into it a lot more. So those are some key returners.
That's what I have written down on my end, too, for Corey, is he brings that positive attitude to the team. And that's what you need in a leadership position. You need a positive attitude, especially in the game of basketball. You can't let one mistake ruin your whole game. You have to, as we say on this show all the time, memory of a goldfish. You have to have a memory of a goldfish in one ear and out the other and forget about it, because basketball is such a fast-paced game and you can't let one mistake just trip you up for the rest of the game. It's a long game. You got 40 minutes.
Exactly.
You can't let a 2-second mistake deficit you the whole time. But to add on to Anton Baker, I have had the opportunity to speak to him, and he said that he didn't know if he was going to come back for a 5th year, in all honesty. He didn't know if he wanted to get his MBA or even come back to school, but from some of the guys on the team, they were kind of like, dude, we need you. Like, we want to win this year. And that is the mindset that they're carrying into this season, is we want to win. Last year, we had the taste of playoffs. We were almost there. But we didn't succeed, and we don't want that feeling again. They've had that bad taste in their mouth, and they don't want to experience that again, especially for Anton Baker. His first 4 years leading up, not making the playoffs, barely having a record over 500, a losing season, and then his senior year making the playoffs, but not succeeding in the way that they wanted to. So you can tell there is a fire lit under them this year, and they want to do good. And just real quick before we head into what to see for their opening games and things of that nature, another athlete I want to add to this mix is a grad student from Teal. His name's Rayshad Hooper. His last name is Hooper. I mean, come on. So Rayshad, he's here for the graduate program for athletic training. He was at Teal.
Interesting.
So this team has played against him. Last year, Rayshad Hooper, his last name is Hooper. It's awesome.
Gotta make that down.
It's awesome. He had a double-double on Waynesburg last year when Teal played Waynesburg. He is an amazing athlete, and he's a big. He's huge. I've talked to him, and every time I talk to him, I'm 5'4". I'm like this. That's how I'm talking to him, because that's how tall he is, right? So between him and Anton Baker and Jalen Davis, they have the height this year. And not only do they have the height, but they have the depth. And I really think we're looking for a really good men's season.